So today we'll see the feature of AWS. What is the benefit of using AWS? Then we'll see the global infrastructure of AWS, the regions where they have deployed their data centers and the availability zones. We'll see how to access the AWS platform from using the internet, how we can reach the AWS platform so that we can use their services. We'll see the overview, AWS overview, and all the services like compute and networking services, storage and content delivery services, database services, then management and governance, security, identity and compliance services, application services, and container services. We'll just see the overview. We'll not discuss details today. We'll just see what all the services supported by AWS, and we'll just see just a overview. And after the session we'll go to every service by detail. What is the feature of AWS? One is flexibility. Flexibility means it supports wide range of programming models, languages, and operating system. So what the programming language, the popular programming languages and the operating system in the market, they all supported by AWS. So for you, no need to worry about that this language is not supporting AWS. So almost all popular languages supported by AWS. They also support wide range of database servers, NoSQL servers, cache servers. They also support serverless and the container-based models. For the container-based models, they support ECS, Elastic Container Service, as well as also Kubernetes service. Next is cost effective. If you use AWS, there will be no upfront investment. Means you are not going to a huge investment. Like AWS is not asking you to invest this amount of money to use our AWS services. And also there is no long-term commitment. Like some companies are committing, like to use our services, you should have 3 year or 4 year tie-up with our company should be there, and no such type of commitment is there. And also there is no minimum amount of spend. Like some company may ask you to minimum you have to buy 200 or my 500 dollar or 500 rupees to use this service. There is no such type of commitment from AWS. You can, and also you can scale up or down as the demand resources. Scale up means you can increase your resources, you can increase your running instances, or you can increase your database instances, or you can also scale down means you can remove your instances as per your demand. So there is all flexibility is there from AWS side. And their billing is like per hour billing, and maybe for few services per second billing. And they are providing a billing dashboard to you. It is very simple to see, and very clarity in their billing. So I'll show you sometime what how the billing dashboard looks like. And their service is scalable and elastic. Scalable means whenever you want you can increase your services. It is scaling means increasing or decreasing. There also the property elastic means uh, you can stretch you can increase your resources uh, whatever you want. There is no limit. Like you can say limit. For example, you want to use their storage service like S3. Storage means you are using Google storage to store your movies or image files or photos, those things. So in Amazon, one service is S3. So there is no limit. So you can use whatever you want the storage. Next is security. Security is the highest priority from the AWS side. They provide the highest priority to securities. Secure means you there's want to secure your environment, right? So they provide customer with end-to-end security and end-to-end privacy. They incorporate the security into its services, and they follow all the security standards in the market. So So no need to think about security of your services, like whatever you are using from the AWS side. You have to just understand how, uh, in case of your infrastructure as service, you need to understand how I have to secure my infrastructure. Everything will be provided by AWS, but you should know that how I can use this. AWS maintains confidentiality, integrity, and availability of your data, which is utmost importance of the AWS. And next is experience. Experience means Amazon has become a global web platform that serves millions of customers, and AWS has evolved since 2006. If you compare the cloud providers, you can say that AWS is the most experienced one in the market. They have started from 2006, and the second and third popular providers are AWS and GCP. They have started from 2012. So if you compare, AWS is the most experienced one, and they are serving hundreds and thousands of customers worldwide. Next is stability and trusted vendor. You can say they are very stable. So they are working from last 15 to 16 year or 17 years, and there is no problem. Like you might not listen any problem in AWS infrastructure, and they are trusted vendors. So any questions till now?
You said AWS is the most experienced cloud service provider, but why not Salesforce?
Yeah, Salesforce is the most experienced, but if you see those services from Salesforce, if you compare Salesforce to AWS, AWS is having far more services and more stable services. Salesforce started initially, but they have not grown like AWS.
Okay.
They're having a minimum, like some not less than 1% shareholding in the market, but AWS are having more than 32%.
Okay.
Next, we will see the regions and availability zones. What is the regions? Regions means where AWS having their data centers, and in which areas they are having their data centers, and availability zones. Their data center, you can say their availability zone, and combination of 2 to 3 data centers is a region, and those things will be connected through ultra low latency network. That's it. Regions is a physical location around the world where Amazon cluster their data centers. So you can say region is a physical location around the world where Amazon having their data centers. Each AWS region consists of multiple isolated physically separate availability zones within a geography area. So their region is like a combination of more than two availability zones. So availability zone, you can think of a data center, and those are within a region. For example, I can say Mumbai region, or you can say Frankfurt region. So in that region, they are having multiple availability zones. Availability zones means they are physically separate edges. So edges, you can think about one data center. So if I show you, the data centers, like I saw some image, they are having the data centers like this way, like a bunch of buildings, and those
No.
buildings, yes, their data center having a multiple buildings, and in those buildings they are having their rack of you can say your compute resources, CPUs, your storage hard drives. They are uh, having all these resources connected through some network cables. You can say this type of buildings are availability zones, and 2 to 3 or 6, maybe I saw 6 availability zone in one region having 6 availability zones. Each AG has independent power, cooling, and physical security, and is connected via redundant and ultra low latency network. AWS infrastructure regions meet the highest level of security, compliance, and data protection. So they follow the standard industry standard security, compliance, and data protection. And as of now, 27, no, this is increased to 26. and 5 announced region, maybe 6 announced region, so they have increased. So let me show you. And this is their global infrastructure, and yeah, there are 26 launched regions, and there will be 8 announced regions. So if you see this, this is Canada, and Canada having these regions. And if you see in India, we are having currently Mumbai have one region, and that region having 3 availability zones, and this orange color having upcoming coming soon. So in Hyderabad they are going to launch another region. So their work is in progress. Once their work will completed, then this Hyderabad region will be a region. So in Europe, this is the Kannada region. Yeah, in USA, Oregon, they are having 4 availability zones. Okay. Availability zones. An availability zone is one or more discrete data centers with redundant power, networking, and connectivity in the AWS region. So availability zones having their own power and networking. So if suppose one region having 3 availability zones, if one availability zone fails, have some problems, maybe some power problem or maybe some disaster, so due other 2 availability zone will be served for that region. So the one region will not fail at a time. Maybe one availability zone fail, but other availability zone can serve any request. All the availability zones in AWS region are interconnected with high bandwidth, low latency networking. So they are having their own network. They are not using internet for their availability communications, availability zone communications. They are having their own high bandwidth and low latency networking. So all traffic between edges are encrypted. So their communication also encrypted. So their communication is secure. Next, we'll see how can I access one AWS platform. So AWS data center is in some area and you are in some area, right? And suppose you are working from your office and AWS data center is far away from your office. So how you can access those AWS platforms? To access AWS cloud services, we are having 3 ways to communicate them. One is AWS management console. So for AWS management console, to access AWS management console, you need one user ID and password. So using that user ID and password, you can access your AWS management console. So your fast task will be to create one free tier account in AWS. If you don't have, then using that free tier account, you can access your AWS management console. And next is your management console is a web application for managing AWS cloud services. So in AWS management console, you will use your web browser to access AWS management console. Like here you have to type this aws.amazon.com console. So there will be one sign in button. So you will have some password and user ID and password, and using that you can access. So before that you need to create one free tier account. So if you have problem, I will guide you how to create one free tier account. So this is your AWS management console, and using this web browser you can access your web services, Amazon web services. And second method is your Amazon AWS command line interface. It is a unified tool used to manage AWS cloud services. With just one tool to download and configure, you can control AWS multiple services from your command line and automate them through scripts. So first one is management console, and this is command line interface. Command line interface means you have to download one software, command line software, to your PC. Maybe you are using Windows, or maybe you are using Mac, or maybe you are using Ubuntu, Fedora, or CentOS, whatever. You have to download one command line interface, CLI tool, from the AWS site. So using that command line, you can access your platform, AWS platform. For example, I can use some CLI okay, command prompt, and using my command prompt, I can access. I can access the AWS platform. Yeah, I have already configured. So using this, I can access my AWS platform. This is one method. And the next one is using AWS software development kits. So it provides an application programming interface. The SDKs provide support for many different languages. So using this SDK also one software. So you can download that and you can use in your programming language. Like suppose you are using Java language or .NET language, and you can integrate this software to your language and your IDE, and using, they have provided some APIs, some functions, and using those functions you can also connect to your AWS environment and access those services. Any questions till now?
Can you please repeat again for the SDK?
SDK is like software development kit. And suppose you are using some programming language, like you are a developer. Suppose you are a developer and you want to access your AWS platform using your source code, right? And you are using, suppose you are using .NET source code, or you are using some C++ source code, and they have given some software development kit, and they have provided some functions, some APIs. And if you download this software development kit to your PC, and you have to integrate those SDKs to your programming language, and using those programming language you can access to those services. For example, suppose you want to upload one image from your software, like you have developed one software called ABCD for your company, and your company wants that from my software there will be one button to upload one image, right? And while clicking that button, you have to write some code to upload that image to
Image.
AWS S3 bucket. So for that you have to write some code, and you have use some APIs. So that will be provided by AWS using their software development kit. I think it's clear now.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
So we'll see the AWS overview of the services. So we'll not go in detail. We'll just see in a higher level. So AWS provide a variety of computer networking services. This section will offer some high level description of core computing and networking services. So first we will see Amazon Elastic Cloud. So what is Amazon EC2? This is the short form is EC2, and it's called Amazon Elastic Cloud. It is a web service that provides a resizable compute capacity in the cloud. So resizable means whatever size you want to create one virtual machine. Maybe your virtual machine may be one small one, maybe some large one, some medium one. So as per your requirement, you can create one virtual machine in Amazon Cloud. You can select from a variety of operating systems and resource configuration, like your memory, CPU, storage, and so on. There are optimal for the application profile for each workload. So there are many virtual machines type. So first let understand what is a virtual machine. Virtual machine is one instance or one machine that will be created in your AWS platform. and it will having some like your laptop, it will have some memory, some CPU, some storage, and some network. And suppose you are going to buy one laptop from market, so you are seeing this is like your Pentium or your some CPU configuration like your AMD or your uh, whatever your like CPU configuration you can choose. And also memory, like I need some 8 GB memory, 1 TB of hard drive, maybe 500 SSD. So you are choosing while going to buy one laptop. So similarly you can choose your instance types. I can show you. You can choose your instance type. So there are many instance types that is supported by AWS. So as per configuration, you can choose one instance. So suppose I am going to use some T3. So T3 having many families. Like if I choose this T3 small, I will get 2 CPUs, 2 core of CPUs, and memory like 2 GB, and you can also choose some hard drive like how much GB or TB you can also select. And how you will connect. So suppose you are using Windows platform. So as a user you are using Windows platform. So Windows having one software called remote desktop. So using the remote desktop you can connect to the virtual machine which are created in AWS platform. So in the next session we will start EC2, and we will see how we can create one virtual machine, and how we can going to connect from our PC to the virtual machine, and we can upload the data or whatever your requirement is, you can do that. And suppose you are using Windows system and you want to create their Linux system, so you can use your one software called Putty. Using that Putty you can also connect from your PC to AWS environment using your internet connection. So through internet connection you can connect and you can do your work. So this is your virtual machines. So next is Amazon private cloud. So it provision a logically isolated section of AWS cloud where you can launch AWS resources in a virtual network. So you can create a virtual network there. Like your company, suppose you are working for a company, so they are using internally a virtual private cloud, one virtual network, and your IP address, you will get some local IP address like 10.0.5.3, like this way. And you can do a similar thing in Amazon cloud. You can create one virtual private cloud. You have complete control over your virtual environment, including selection of IP addresses, range, creation of subnets, and configuration of route tables and network gateways. So you are you. So this is like you are a network administrator, right? And as a network administrator, admin, you can choose your IP addresses and you can create subnets. You can configure route tables like that way. In addition, organization can extend their corporate data center networks to AWS by using one VPN connection and AWS Direct Connect. So we will discuss VPN connection and AWS Direct Connection in detail. Now you just understand that your organization, suppose you are using some office and you are having also one private network, and you want to connect the one private network in AWS. So you can use these connections, VPN connection and direct connection. So your private network can access the private network of AWS. So any questions here? Or you can continue.
I'm fine.
Okay. Next is elastic load balancing. So elastic load balancing, one service by AWS, it automatically distributes incoming application traffic across multiple Amazon EC2 instances in the cloud. So suppose you are working with a web service, and that web service is deployed in one EC2 instance, one virtual machines in AWS cloud, and you are having more loads. So there is one service called elastic load balancing. load balancer, you can say, in the term load balancer, you might know this. And it will automatically distributes incoming application traffic to multiple Amazon EC2 instances. Load balancing is balance the load, so there may be more load in your service, so this service will balancing the load, distribute the loads. Next is auto scaling. Auto scaling allows organization to scale Amazon EC2 capacity up or down automatically according to conditions defined for your particular load. So this is one service. This will automatically scale your capacity. Scale means suppose you are using two virtual machines for a particular load, and now maybe due to some circumstances your load has been increased and you need more virtual machines, more EC2 instance. So in that case you have to go there and increase one or two, right, to manage your load. For example, suppose one virtual machine having capability of managing 1000 requests per second, and you are using two, and they having capability like to manage 2000 requests per second. Now you got some big billion sale or whatever, maybe some load, some spike will come like a particular time, and that may be 5000 requests per second, and you are having only two, right? So to manage those things, what will happen? You have to increase your capability, right? So you have to come and create some virtual machines so that they can manage the load, right? But AWS providing one service called auto scaling. So this will see some load increases, and they will manage using some metrics. They will check some metrics, some conditions you have to set. Then they will automatically increase for you. No need to go and do it manually. The auto scaling service will automatically increase your capacity or decrease your capacity. So you have to set some condition, and using those condition they will scale up and down. AWS Lambda. AWS Lambda, it is a zero admin compute platform to backend web servers developers that runs your code for you on your AWS cloud. So this is one compute service, you can say. And serverless. Serverless means you are not going to create one virtual machine for this, or you are not going to create any platform for running your Lambda function. It is zero administration, like this is fully managed by AWS. You have to just write your code. You just write your code, and this will be run by AWS. So no need to create any infrastructure. So AWS Lambda runs your backend code on its AWS compute fleet of Amazon EC2 instances. So internally they are using Amazon virtual machines across multiple availability zones in a region, which provide the high availability, security, performance, scalability of the AWS infrastructure. So AWS having responsibility for high availability, security, performance, and scalability. So no need to worry about for that. Just write your code. Only you have to provide your source code. Next is your compute and networking services like AWS Elastic Beanstalk. It is a fastest and simplest way to get a web application up and running on AWS. Developers can simply upload their application code, and services automatically handles all the details such as resource provisioning, load balancing, auto scaling, and monitoring. So this is one service, Elastic Beanstalk. You have to only provide your source code, and it will create everything. Create everything means they will provision some virtual machines, they will create some virtual machines, they will create load balancer for you, they will create auto scaling for you, they will do monitoring for you, and this service will do everything for you. No need to create as your own. You have to just upload your source code. Next is AWS Direct Connect. So it is a service. It allows organization to establish a dedicated network connection from their data center to AWS. So we'll learn in detail. So AWS, what is the difference between your VPN and AWS Direct Connect? AWS Direct Connect is very faster, and it is a connection. It is connection from your data center to AWS. This is not internet connection. They are, you can think about this is a network connection that will be provided some network providers like your Geo. So this will be, this connection is very faster in comparison to your internet connection. Amazon Route 53. It is highly available and scalable domain name system service. So it will provide you to buy any domain, and this Route 53 will manage domains. So like your GoDaddy. So GoDaddy is providing domain for you and they are managing their domains. So similarly, you can use this Amazon Route 53 to manage your domain names. So any questions till now?
What is EC2 instance? Can you please repeat?
EC2 instance. EC2 instance is a virtual machine. Virtual machine means, suppose you are using some laptop, right? And this laptop having OS, maybe in Windows or maybe in Mac, and you are having some configuration, hardware configuration.
Mm-hmm.
I'm using this Intel processor. I'm using in this amount of hard drive, right? So similarly, they will create one machine for you. Machine means OS plus your hardware configuration in Amazon Cloud,
Okay.
and you are going to access that instance using internet connection and using some software like your remote desktop. So suppose you are going to create one Windows OS there, Windows machine there, and from your laptop you are accessing that Windows machine using one connection, using one software called RDP that is provided, and you are providing the IP address and accessing that instance from your local.
Okay.
Okay, and similarly you can create many types of instances like Linux, your CentOS, your Ubuntu, your Fedora. Many set of OS is supported by those AWS EC2 instance. So we'll discuss this maybe next class or next to next class.
Okay.
We'll see in detail how we can connect. This is just an overview.
Okay.
Next is Amazon. Okay, Route 53 completed. Then we'll see a storage and content delivery. AWS provides a variety services to meet your storage needs, such as your Amazon Simple Storage Service, Amazon CloudFront, Amazon Elastic Block Storage, EFS, S3, Glacier, and Storage Gateway. So first we'll see about Amazon Simple Storage Service. It provides developers and IT teams with highly durable and scalable object store that handles virtually unlimited amount of data and large number of concurrent users. So this is, you can say, the core service of AWS, the core storage service where you can store your data. Like for example, your Google Store. So in the Google Store, you are uploading files like maybe some video files, maybe some image files, some zip files. So similarly, AWS having this service, Amazon S3, simple storage service. Amazon S3 provides cost-effective object storage for a wide variety of use cases, including backup, recovery, big data analytics, disaster recovery, and content distribution. So you can also store some long-term data in Amazon S3, and their price is very minimal. Next is Amazon Glacier. Amazon Glacier also similar to S3, and it is secure, durable, and extremely low cost. If you compare to S3, it is very extremely low cost service for data archiving and long-term backup. Amazon Glacier is for long-term backup, and their price is very less in comparison to S3. To keep costs low for customers, Amazon Glacier is optimized for infrequent access data where a retrieval time of several hours is suitable. So what is the difference like S3 and Glacier? So if you use the Glacier, their cost is very low in comparison to S3, but uh, there is some condition like this is infrequent access, and if you retrieve your data, and it can take some time, maybe some several hours to download your data from Glacier. Next is Amazon Elastic Block Store. See, this is object store. Mostly you will use for storage. Storage means some long-term storage, and you can and this storage is like you can say shareable. It can access like large number of concurrent users. Maybe uh, you can upload one video like your YouTube, and you can provide your link to anybody. So concurrently, many users can access your data. Next, Amazon Elastic Block Store. It provides persistent block level storage volumes. See, this is the storage volumes, and those are object storage. Storage volumes means you can think about a hard drive of your laptop. So this is type of one hard drive, and this is used in your EC2 instances, your virtual machines hard drive. You can think about this. And each Amazon EBS volume is automatically replicated within its availability zone to protect organization from component failure, offering high availability and durability. So this is a network storage. You can say this is a network storage. And while creating your virtual machines or your EC2 instance in AWS platform, you are using this service to create a volume or use a volume. So maybe you can you want I need some 100 GB of hard drive for my virtual machines. You can take 100 GB of EBS volume for your virtual machine. Next is AWS storage gateway. It is a service connecting on an on-premise software appliance with your cloud-based storage to provide seamless and secure integration between your organization's on-premises IT environment and AWS storage infrastructure. So maybe you can use this service. Suppose you are having your own data center, and your own data center is communicate to AWS. In that case, you can use this storage gateway, so that using the storage gateway you can communicate your storage environment to your AWS storage infrastructure. Suppose you are using S3, so you are going to upload any data, means you are using internet, and you are going to that particular bucket and doing that. But instead you can use this AWS storage gateway. uh, this storage gateway is required if you are working for a company, and your company wants to do some data transfer, right, to the AWS platform. So you can use this gateway, that is called storage gateway. This service supports industry standard storage protocols that work with existing applications. Next is Amazon CloudFront. CloudFront is a CDN. You might have learned about CDN, the content delivery network. So there are many CDN providers in the market. The popular one is Akamai and AWS CloudFront. So Azure having their own CDN, Google having their own CDN. So it is a content delivery web service. So this integrates with other AWS cloud services to give an high way to distribute content to users across the world with low latency, high data transfer speeds, and no minimum usage commitment. Anyone know about CDN?
It's like content delivery.
Yes, this is
Yes,
a
yes, so
content
many,
delivery network.
so
It will,
many websites. You see,
yes,
Locky.com. There are some websites. For those are content. What is that? Condinas.com. If you open GQ.com, those are hosted from CDNs. I know.
yes. Because see, suppose your server in maybe you are in USA, and your server in UK region, right? And there is some services you are using, and accessing data from UK to USA may be slow, right? So this CDN help you there, and CDN are the servers nearest you. Suppose you are staying in USA in some area, and those CDN servers will be in your nearest region, and they will cache those data from the original server, and they will provide to you. The nearest server will be serving you, so that you will not see your problem in your latency and data transfer speeds. You will not think that my server is in very far away and I will be slow. So to solve this problem, the CDN servers will be there in nearest you. They will cache those data from the main server, and they will you will be served from those CDN servers, so that you will not face any data latency, and those data transfer speed will be very good for you, right? Next is elastic file system. It provides a simple serverless elastic file system that lets you share file data without provisioning or managing storage. It can be used with AWS cloud services and on-premise resources, and is built to scale on demand to petabytes without disturbing application. You can think about that this is a file system, and this can be shareable between your EC2 instances. And suppose you are using some hundred of EC2 instances and you need some shareable resource, you can use this elastic file system. So any questions till now? We'll see database services.
Database services. What is that? Oh, okay.
Database services means
No, no, I'm saying
AWS.
okay. No,
Yeah, AWS.
I thought we already covered. Okay, no, I'm sorry.
No, no, no.
I
We
mean,
already cover our
yeah,
virtual machines and
yeah.
network. AWS provides fully managed relational and NoSQL databases, and in memory caching services also, and a petabyte data warehouse, petabyte scale data warehouse. See, one RDS, you can say relational database, NoSQL database, caching server, and your data warehouse. These four type of database supported by AWS. Amazon Relational Database. It provides a fully managed relational database with support for many popular open source and commercial database engines. It is cost efficient service that allows organization to launch secure, highly available, fault tolerant production ready database in minutes. That means AWS provide many type of database engines like your MySQL, your Microsoft SQL Server, your Oracle database. There are many 6 or 7 databases provided by AWS. So you just go and create those database engines. No need to manage those OSs. You just direct use those engines using their URLs and user ID and password. We'll create everything. We'll create every database and we'll connect from our applications from our laptops or desktops. Next is Amazon DynamoDB. DynamoDB is a NoSQL database. It is a fast and flexible NoSQL database service for all applications that need to consistency and single digit millisecond latency at a scale. It, if you compare to RDS, Amazon DynamoDB is faster. It is fully managed database and supports both document and key value data models. Its flexible data model and reliable performance make it a great fit for mobile, web, gaming, art tech, internet of things, and many other applications. And this is not relational. This is NoSQL. NoSQL means there is your SQL command will not run there because this is not relational. And the first one is relational, like Oracle and SQL Server, like that way. And Dynamo is NoSQL. Can anyone tell about other NoSQL databases in the market?
Mongo,
Yes, MongoDB is one of the popular NoSQL database.
Redis,
Yes,
Redis,
Redis. Yes, Redis also cache database.
Cas
Yeah.
can also, yeah.
Next is Amazon Redshift. Redshift, it is a fast, fully managed petabyte scale data warehouse service that makes it simple and cost effective to analyze your structured data. It is a Redshift, you can say one data warehouse service where you can analyze your structured data. You can do some data analysis there. Amazon Redshift provides a standard SQL interface that let organization use existing business intelligence tool. So using some tools, you can analyze your data. Your data may be in petabyte scale, so you can store like some TB of data or PB of data there and analyze your data using some tools, that is Amazon Redshift. So if you are working on big data analysis or those areas, you can use this tool or service. Next is Amazon Elastic Cache. It is a web service that simplifies deployment operation and scaling of in-memory cache. See, the RDS are not in memory; they are like some virtual machines where your database engine is installed and you are using that. And Elastic Cache is in memory, like your caching server. You can say you from your virtual machines to RDS. This can come in between, and this will uh, cache your data, and uh, your data communication will be faster if you use some Elastic Cache. The service improves the performance of web applications by allowing organization to retrieve information from fast managed in-memory caches. Is it clear, or I will explain more?
What is in-memory cache?
In-memory cache means you can say, see, think about some caching. Caching means suppose you are going to fetch some data from the RDS. So for that you are writing some query like select this table from this, or joining this like this way. So it will take some time to retrieve from your RDS, because your data is having millions to billions of data, right? And suppose you are running one query there, and it will take some time. Maybe it may take some seconds, or maybe few seconds, or maybe some millisecond. Let's you are working with a very complicated query, and it took like 10 seconds for each query, right? So suppose your service is approaching your database and querying your RDS server. It's like very late, like 5 seconds or 3 seconds, like that way. And this Elastic Cache will come in between your service and your database. So let's 1 minute. Suppose this is your service, and this is your RDS, right? And you are queuing your RDS, and you are using some you can say some complicated query, and it takes some time, right? And every time your service is queuing your database and getting same amount of time to retrieve the same query, right? But for a solution you can use some in between cache server here. And your service will not directly contact to RDS. It will see in the cache if this is available, so it's fine. Otherwise, your service will get from the cache, and it will be sorry, it will be right in your cache those information to the cache. So next time when service will fetch those data, it will not go to the RDS. Instead, it will check in the cache server whether my queries data is present or not.
Okay, so
So
it
if the
is just
present,
cache memory, you're saying.
sorry, hello.
So it is very similar to cache memory, you're saying.
Yes, yes, this is a cache memory, and this is some this will be very faster.
Okay.
Okay. Next we'll see management and governance. So we'll cover only these two, and we'll cover rest tomorrow. Amazon CloudWatch. It is a monitoring service for your AWS cloud resources and application running on AWS. This is basically a monitoring service. This will monitor your resources, maybe your virtual machine, your database system, your cache server, your S3 buckets. Okay, this is the monitoring service from the CloudWatch. It allows organization to collect and track metrics, collect and monitoring log files, and set alarm. So it can collect the log files from the services. It can collect the metrics. Metrics means how much CPU I have used, how much network bytes I have used. So those things will be captured to this CloudWatch, and you can we can monitor those services from the CloudWatch. Next is cloud formation. Cloud formation gives developers and system admins an effective way to create and manage collection of related AWS services, provisioning and updating them in orderly and predictable fashion. So you can say this cloud formation is a IAC tool, infrastructure as code, and using some source code or using some JSON based or YAML based templates, you can create your infrastructure, right? So using some code, you can create your virtual machine. You can create your instead of going to console and creating those things, you can write some script, some YAML script to create your infrastructure's resource. You can create also one database server using CloudFormation. AWS CloudTrail. It is a web service that records your AWS API call for account and delivers log files for audit and review. So whatever uh, for working on in your accounts for a particular account, those APIs will be recorded in the CloudTrail service. Suppose one day someone log into your account and create something or delete something, those things will be recorded in CloudTrail service. So you can use this CloudTrail service for audit and review purpose. The recorded information includes the identity of the API caller, the time of the API call, the source IP address of the API caller, the request parameters, and the response element written by the service. So these things will be captured in the CloudTrail service. AWS System Manager. It gives you visibility and control of your infrastructure on AWS. So this is basically one service from where you can see your infrastructure, the detail of your suppose you are having some 100 of EC2 instances, you can see here and you can manage those things. System Manager provides a unified user interface so you can view operational data and multiple AWS services and allow you to automate operational tasks across your AWS resources. You can do the operational task from the AWS System Manager. For example, suppose you are having thousand of EC2 instances is running for your company, and your manager asks that for every EC2 instance, I need to update those patches, some security patches. So instead of going one by one system, this is one place, the System Manager, you can go there and you can view all the your virtual machines, and you can run some automated patch or automated patch so that all the virtual machines will update their patching or some security updates. Okay, we will continue tomorrow. If today, if you have any questions, please let me know.
So for